Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest White Pod. I'm Stephen Bland, your host. Today's guest is Catalina. Catalina, feel free to introduce yourself and let our viewers know about yourself and your background.
Yeah. Hi. My name is Catalina. I currently work at Clutch Loop, which is an e-commerce brand. We sell phone accessories, and more specifically, we sell what's called a Clutch Loop, which is a tether for your phone. It's anti-theft, anti-drop. And it basically helps with anything to do with those two issues. If you're going out hiking, if you're going to a festival, or even for daily use, it really just keeps your phone safe while you're on the move. And yeah, we've seen some success with e-commerce. So Stephen has kindly reached out to me to talk about these um, a little bit about these details about the business. So super excited to be here.
Awesome. We appreciate you coming on. Marketing an e-commerce brand can be very difficult. Can you share some challenges you face and maybe how you overcome them in the past few months to years?
Sure. I mean, I think a big issue here is communication, where a lot of people feel that you're overwhelmed with the amount of interaction you're getting online. You know, if you have one, two, three viral moments, it's like you feel like this is all coming in at the same time, and like, how do I manage that, right? Like, oh, I finally like found somewhat of a formula, right? Because you really don't know what sticks, but say a video goes viral and like people are asking about your product, like do you have somebody or is someone there that can answer those questions? Do you know what those questions are? Do you have a system in place to be able to like funnel that into a sale? Like what does that look like? So I think one of the biggest challenges is like finding a way that to do that suits your product and your brand. And so like anything that's like omni-channel or platforms that allow you to have multiple um, channels go into one and kind of like focus in on having one person like sift through those messages and like understand what are your FAQs, like what are people asking, what are they interested in, and then like what do they want from us, right? Like is that do they want new products? What do they want new colors? Do they are they having trouble opening the package? Is there trouble with shipping? So like all of these things, and staying on top of that, I think has been like, at least in my position, something that we've had to like build a system out to where we know what to do in each of those cases.
100%. Festival marketing can be very, highly physical. When it comes to like festival marketing and event marketing, be highly physical. How
Mhm.
much do you feel like your growth has come from being present at events versus online?
Yeah, so a lot of the work that the founders of Clutch Loop did was upfront, going out into the festivals, meeting with people, and actually, one of our founders, he wouldn't say who he was. He wouldn't say he was the founder of Clutch Loop. He just went as like like Samaritan. And is that the word Samaritan?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
A
yeah,
festival
he just
goer.
went as
Yeah,
a
whatever it is.
normal
Yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
A normal person, and he would just like see people wearing it, like once they did some like push, like some word of mouth, and then he started seeing the real life effect of Clutch Loop, and like he saw people wearing it, so he wouldn't say that he had created it. He would just go up to people and be like, hey, like what is that? And then people would tell him like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
Clutch Loop, like you have it on here on your backpack, and it
Uh-huh.
stretches out and you can carry your phone, and like he had people like selling him his own product, and he's like, oh, okay, like cool, like where'd you get it? He's like, oh, like Clutch Loop. So you could see the real life impact of the product, and I think that is really cool, and that's like a testament to what they did in person. And they also, and this is on the like touching a little bit on a marketing standpoint, like they were able to find a community of people that received their product and that made their product their own. And those people have like ridden with us from day one and like still ride with Clutch Loop. So that's been like a huge foundation of the brand.
Awesome. Well, that brings me to my next question. When someone does discover Clutch Loop for the first time, what does that journey look like? Is it TikTok? Is it organic? Is it word of mouth? Do you have a sense of the customer journey?
Yeah, like I think so it did start in person at festivals,
Yeah.
and now we do a lot of um outreach within the community, like the online space. So like music festival online space, and there's so much opportunity out there and things to do and worlds to expand in. So I would say like, the base of our customers are still within that like word of mouth kind of space. And
Uh-huh.
then there's that other tier of people that find us online. And there's a lot to be done there still, but we do so like we have that organic base and then we have paid media on top of that where we're doing Meta and Google now.
Mhm.
Um, Google's very recent, but it's already organically showing in the search engine very well as well. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's like a couple of different places where people have kind of like interacted. Um, and you do see like a good amount of search come up for phone tethers for various other uses that we have come into. So like finding people use it for hiking or finding people use it for construction or fishing. And so these are different kind of niches that also like we would, we don't have time, but like once we have time, we want to develop into.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's like it just really depends on the person, but I'd say those are a couple like points, touch points for customers for sure.
100%. And you started fully organic, right? That was how everything started.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you feel like your product separates you from the competition?
I always say this, it's almost like a product that has a very good like market fit. It solves a problem that everyone has, which is like their phone keeps dropping, or they don't want to get their phone stolen. And so that's like, who doesn't drop their phone like a couple times on a regular
Yeah.
basis? Like I know I do. And so I think like that plus seeing people out and about kind of wearing it, um, that's really where that kind of initial spark comes from. And then I think once you see the real life use of it, you like kind of become used to it and you're like, I have it on me and then I carry it around on my backpack. And so like, and then I'm just used to like, I just want to use my hands. And so like I clip it on and like, I have my hands free. Um, and so we say like walk around hands free or something like that is like one of our taglines. Or hands free, no anxiety, like hold your phone, hands free, no anxiety. And
Yeah.
I think that's like part of the messaging too is like live your life and be free. A really cool example of that is like skiing. So we have a lot of skiers that use it. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like you can go out onto the mountain and be free and have like your phone just hanging there. And I think that that's like a problem that didn't find us, like nobody had really found a solution to it until now. And so that's why I think it solves a real issue. So that's why I think like people really want the product. It's easy to use and they find it and it solves a real problem. So yeah.
100%. I would agree. How do you feel like you've done with the whole AI boom in the last year? How do you feel like you've managed that?
So right now we have a lot of internal AI use, I think, like among individuals on our team. Um, but not so much where we've looked into search engines or like uh what do you call it? GPT models or GEO. We haven't really looked
Yeah.
into that yet. No, yeah, we just haven't looked into that yet, but that's definitely somewhere we want to grow into as well. Again, we're kind of building out different um like different extensions of the business and definitely AI is going to be one of the next things we look at for sure.
Awesome. Well, that leads me to my next question. What area of
Yeah.
marketing do you think Clutch Loop hasn't fully cracked yet when it comes to marketing, besides AI?
I guess TikTok is like where we have the most development to do because purely the nature of the platform really asks for quantity of content. And so we need to really hone in on content and it can get to be like just, you want to put out quality. And so you don't want to be like just regurgitating content, but also you want to curate it in a way that feels like like it speaks to the brand, right? And so I think the nature of TikTok, it's kind of like you want to push out as much um as you can, but you need time for it to grow as well. So that's been like also something that we would want to get into too, and there's so much space and room for us to do that. It's just kind of a time thing where like we also just have to look at it
100%.
separately. So
Yes. Totally understand.
yeah.
What piece of advice could you give someone that is looking to market an e-commerce brand, we'll say in their first year?
Focus on organic, and so like focus on content you can create, and don't be afraid to like have a voice. I think a lot of the times people are afraid to make content that like might be a little funnier or might be out there, like because they don't want to sound like unprofessional. And I'm not saying go out and be unprofessional. I'm saying there's a line that you can play with where you can have a voice and you can be special and you can be recognized for being special and you can translate your audience's voice into your messaging and capture that. And that's where like the magic happens, is where you're like pushing your product out there, but you're also creating a voice for yourself. So, um, I mean, really just focusing on doing that when you're creating your content, on creating also a problem sort of that people. So you're highlighting a problem. So for us, it's like phone theft, right? So we recently had a video go viral where one of our founders made a video on the subway, and this girl was had her phone on the subway, and he like runs past her and yanks the phone out of her hand, and you see how the clutch loop like stops the phone from being stolen, and it slings back onto her. And I think that really captures like the fear that a lot of our clients have. And so like if you can understand why your client buys what you buy, and then capture that and then put it into a video, the likelihood of you growing is much higher. So like you're highlighting